Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine Live. I am here to show you sketch number 7. Have to make sure that I keep track of which one I'm on now. Sketch number 7 from our worldwide virtual crop that's going on this weekend, Creative Memories. And I'm going to be using our Stars and Spirits collection for this 2-page layout. So without further ado, let's go ahead and switch over to the tabletop. Okay, here we go. I pulled out my flag banner border punch just because I wanted to show you I will be using this in this layout. It just adds such a fun touch to the pages. Okay. Here's our sketch number 7 that I will be putting together. And hi, Norma, welcome. It's nice to see you. Hope you're having a lovely Sunday. And I'm glad you like that punch because I do too. So here's our sketch. I've done some changes to the measurements that they had in the blog post, but I have linked the blog post in the description box on YouTube. And I will go ahead and tell you what I've done as we go along, but I like to hold up the sketch with all my little notes on it so that way in case you want to screenshot it and reference it, if you want to make these pages like I am going to. So I've pulled my pieces and making sure I had nothing stuck here. I kind of already went ahead and laid things out on my left side and my right side here. And I'm going to go ahead and use 2 navy sheets of cardstock as my base for this layout. It just really highlights the colors of the pages we're going to be using. Let me pull all these things off of here because we need to start at the bottom. I had a bunch of scraps, so it was super easy to go ahead and I punched our banner punch with this red that has the blue on the back. And I went ahead and I cut a 5-inch by 12-inch piece of the stars because that's what's going to run through the middle part of my page. And then I took these fun wavy stripes, which of course on the back is this, but I just like the idea of having that extra little color in it. And this piece is 3 inches by 12 inches. Now I did flip the 2 pages because I liked the idea of having the shorter piece of the wavy stripes on the right side, I guess just because when you see a flag flowing, that's kind of how it usually goes. So you can see here where my stripes will run through this way. I'm going to actually line it up so that way the pages where it'll look like it's flowing through. Whereas on the sketch, it ends on the left side, but you know, that's why it's a sketch. It's just a suggestion. And so I also have a 5 by 12 here for this side of the page. Now I did not cut or add this piece up here. It just was going to be too much for my layout, so I opted to not include it, and then that's why I went ahead and added the border punch just to add that little extra pop of color running across the top. And I'm going to go ahead and start sticking some of this stuff down. Talking too much and not actually crafting enough here. So this is going to kind of go about 2 inches maybe down on our page, roughly. You all know I like to eyeball things. If you want to pull out your 13 by 13 mat every time, that's up to you. You can use your 0 centering ruler. I don't always do that, and it always seems to work out. Sometimes it's nice just to be able to craft and flow and do these things, and you can still create a pretty page without it being so super precise and overthinking things. So I've got my 2 pages lined up pretty well here. Oops. I think I might have put that one off just a little bit, but you know what? It's okay because we're going to have these rolling stripes underneath it. adding extra movement, and it really is okay. In fact, I don't know if it's okay. Maybe I need to fix that one. It's only a hair off, but it's enough that it's bothering me, so let's go ahead and fix it. After I was talking about not being so precise, here I am being precise, but it's okay. Whew, there we go. That one still looks good, so I got that one straight. I just didn't quite get the one above it straight. So now we're going to go ahead and add on our flag banner. And I have pulled out my parchment board and my repositionable tape. And I'm going to go ahead and show you all this time. If you haven't seen my parchment board before, it's a sturdy piece of cardboard, and I've used electrical tape to hold the parchment on to the cardboard. And it just helps to give you a clean surface to work on. You don't have to worry about trying to figure out how to undo getting glue on your 13 by 13 mat or anything else later on. It just, whatever doesn't stick to the parchment stays in the tape runner. And that is fine with me, because then I don't have any sticky goopy mess to clean up later. When you get the extra repositionable tape, like if you put it on the wrong side of here, you can take your finger and rub it off. But sometimes when you're working with it on other surfaces, you can't quite do that. And so this just eliminates that whole problem. Makes life easy, working smart. And here we go. All right, so that's running across our top there. And now we're going to go ahead and start adding some of our mats. For our mats, let's see, what did I say? I had 3 4x4. And I have a journal box here. Okay, so this was up here. The journal box is down here. I'm just going to go ahead and place things real quick, so that way you can get an idea of where I am going to be putting these. I'm going to actually, I ran this one out here before. Put this one up here. No, what I did was I put these two up here because I liked how these kind of got framed in the stars as well. And then I put this one down here. So there we go. Ooh, well, it hasn't been that long. It's a good thing I remembered. So this is my 4.5 by 6.5. I have 2 of the 4.5. Oh, I'm sorry, 4.25 by 6.25, because I figure my photos are going to get printed at 4 by 6. So that way I can just pop in 2 photos without having to trim them. And then the other ones are 4 by 4 mats. So those will need a little bit of trimming on the photos. Whew, excuse me. I kind of sneezed there. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I've been working up a little dust with all my paper crafting I've been doing this weekend and all these fun live streams showing off so many different products. Oops, I wound up getting a little too vigorous with my tape runner there. And here we go. Let's roll this up just a little. There we go. Okay. Alrighty, that's going over here. And finally, let's get our journal box down. Now for the journal box, I cut it at 3.5 by 4.5. And what I did for this little white card that's going inside of it, this is actually one of our index sheets from an older paper pack. I think this actually was from last summer, but I went ahead and I cut a piece 3 inches by 4 inches so that way I could journal on it. And I cut it probably a little bit smaller than what I normally would. A lot of times you allow a 1/4 inch around, and this time I allowed a 1/2 inch because I did kind of want to show that it had this little fun fireworky paper underneath it. And when I cut it a little bit larger, you could only see these little kind of sticks sticking out of it, and you couldn't tell it was the same paper, and it just didn't look quite as nice. So that's what I decided to do. All right, so now I've also got some of our stickers, and these are ready to go on the page. I want to put this American map on the bottom here. Oops. I'll end up catching part of it because I went ahead and cut these out of my sticker sheet because I wanted to see how things would fit on the page when I was working on trying to map out and figure out where I wanted to put things on the page, so that way I'm not sitting here for an hour. Well, it doesn't take me quite an hour. It's actually less than an hour. It's probably less than a half hour putting these together. But anyway, so that way you all don't have to sit here and see me hemming and hawing over which stickers I want to put where. I actually cut these out. A lot of times I can look at them and tell, but with this one I just really wanted to make sure that the sizing was going to work for the page. So our home stickers going above, I added a couple of foam squares. I've also got this United States of America established 1776. I'm going to put on foam squares as well. And those are just kind of going to add to the top of our page our little title. Because, I mean, who doesn't have firework pictures from the 4th of July? I just think that this would be just a really, really fun page to put photos like that on. And then we also have these fun, I guess these are supposed to be sparklers type stickers that match our paper. And I just thought that was too fun to not put on our page. So there was one with 3 that I put in that bottom right corner. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this other one at the top left here on the left-hand side of the page. Let me get rid of some of my trash here, and we are done. We have our title, kind of our United States of America, our home. We have some different elements on our page here. We have a journal box down here. And I flipped it a little bit and I rearranged things just a little bit, but I think it still has the spirit of the sketch. So let me bring this left side closer for y'all to see. Oops, I wound up moving my camera because we had visitors this weekend and I'm going to have to roll it down under here a little bit. Okay, so that's the left side of the page. And here is the right side of the page. And there we go. This one is done. How fun was that? And thank you. Yes, Miss Norma. I was fast because I was prepared and I had everything pre-cut. And also we have a few more sketches to get through this weekend. So I'm trying to make it so the videos aren't too long. And that way everybody can kind of check out and see what I've done for each of these challenges, each of these sketches. And I will be back in a little bit with sketch number 8. And I will see, hey, y'all can see if I make it through all 12 or not. I actually have ideas for some of them. I just did a digital one for sketch 6. And we still have an 8x8 and a fast to fab idea coming as well. So stay tuned for some of that. And I am going to say until next time.